Hello, everyone. James Wilson here, and today we just did the Senate map prediction. As I said, New Hampshire was like a Hail Mary, a shot in the dark. Most people don't agree with me on that, but the other states, I'm fairly confident. In the Georgia, I just really it's just the sheer amount of voting which made me think that Warnock was going to win that. But anyways, let's go into the prediction for the governor's races. I think this is going to be a little bit easier, in my opinion. But I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So, if Trump won the state, I feel that the Democrat is going to lose the race. Okay. So I'm just going to fill this map up real quick. Florida is going to go DeSantis. Texas is going to go Abbott. Oklahoma, it's not that close. Kansas, they say it's going to be close. I'm pretty confident the Republican could win in Kansas. Same with South Dakota. And that's about it, folks. So there you go. So the Republicans right now have 25 states that they're gonna just, it's a shoo-in, they're gonna win. So I'll get started here. So we'll take a look at all the data and everything. Top governor races. I'm gonna make this pretty quick. Wisconsin, first state that comes up. Michaels has a lead. We talked about the polling errors. We talked about all that kind of stuff going on. I'm just going to rely on that. Target Smart, I think, had more Democrats actually voting. But I'm going to rely on the polls as well, too. Actually, 3% more Democrat, but more Republicans voted here. So I don't know. Maybe the more Republicans, as I said, going to vote on election day. So I will say that that's going to go red. And moving on to the next state, I'm just going to move on here real quick. Arizona, that's a toss-up. Of course, I'm going to go with Arizona. Lake is ahead in the polls. So here's the deal with Hobbs. She refused to debate Lake. Lake's pretty popular, but I know she's hated by some people. But she is pretty popular overall. Ducey won last time by 14.9 percentage points. This was back in 2018, so that's pretty good. But when you look at the polling, it's off by 1.4% in favor of the Democrats. Just saying, you know. But it's a state election compared to national, so maybe there's a lot of ticket splitting going on with this. It's going to come down to the wire, folks. It's not going to be, it's not going to be this race where Lake wins by 2. Okay? It's going to come down to the wire. Lake's, it's going to be within the point. When you look at the Target Smart data for Arizona, I think Arizona's shot. It's what it's looking to me. I don't know, man. Let's see, Arizona. When you're looking at this data, you can tell that a higher percentage of Democrats are actually voting. And Trump lost his state in 2020. He didn't win it. He lost it by 0.3. So there's a lot of Republicans that voted for Biden or something weird. You know what happened weird, right? Yeah. But of course, Trump was down in the polls. This is what I'm trying to figure out here. Trump was down in the polls, I believe. Let's see. 2020 president. Yeah, he was down by less than a point. Yeah. Yeah, he was down by 0.9. He won. Okay. I'm going to give this to Lake within a point. That's what I think. I'm going to give this to Lake. It's going to be super close. It's going to be within the point. I'm calling it 0.7%. Well, half of a point. I'll say a half of a point for Kari Lake. This state's kind of shot, okay? All right, it's going back to the next one. Nevada. Sisolak and Lombardo. Lombardo leads by 2.4. This is kind of the same as the Senate race for Nevada. Sisolak closed the state. No one really cares about Sisolak. I don't think really anyone cares about Sisolak, really. Oh, wow. Look at that, folks. Laxalt actually had the lead in the poll. Wow. Look at this. Laxalt underperformed. Sisolak actually won this thing. Wow. That's very interesting because Laxalt is running against the incumbent for Senate, and he's up in the polls. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't know, man. Maybe that wasn't a good... but Sisolak overperformed. Oh, man, this is a tough call. Wow, I didn't realize that. Makes me want to change my Senate pick to the Cortez lady. But I'm going to give this to Lombardo. I think because he's popular in Clark County. So I'm going to give this to Lombardo. So Nevada goes to Lombardo. I'm not... Man, these are mail-ins too. I don't know, man. This is a tough call because, especially with the Senate race, because I didn't realize Laxalt underperformed the polling big time. But anyways, I'm going to give it to Lombardo because he's pretty popular in Clark County. Maybe he can get some kind of balance there, and maybe he can bring up Laxalt. We'll see. It's a toss-up. I don't trust the mail-ins, though, so I don't know. We'll see. Let's go ahead and move on to the state of Oregon. Now, I can tell you one thing right now. I do not trust the mail-ins at all for Oregon. Oregon, they will ballot harvest the crap out of everything. I'm giving this to the Democrats. I think this is actually a pretty easy call. Democrats are gonna win. It is what it is. Let's move on here and to the state of Michigan. Really love Dixon. You can't beat her down. She's solid as a rock. But people are not very bright. When you look at the polls, Whitner is up. Dixon's never led a poll. Let's take a look at the Target Smart data. This state is similar to Georgia in a way. I just have a bad feeling about it. And actually, a little less voting. Dixon has a shot, actually. Let's take a look at this here. Republican, Democrat. Oh, wow, look at that. More Democrats are showing up to vote. They want to kill babies. I'm going to go ahead and give this to Whitner. They like to kill babies up there. We're going to move on. Move on to the next state of... Let's see... Minnesota. Man, they haven't voted for a Republican president since 1972. Look at Jensen. Yeah. Could there be an upset? I doubt it. I'm going to go with the Democrat. So, yeah. Let's move on. Move on to the state of Pennsylvania. Love Dog Mastriano, you can't beat him down. Shapiro seems like one of those know-it-all guys. I haven't heard him, but he just seems that way. Don't like him at all. Typical Democrat, typical liberal. But Mastriano is just losing so bad in the polls. I think it's going to be closer than this. I think it's going to be more like a 5-point Shapiro lead. But I'm going to give it to the Democrat. Let's move on to the next one, which is the state of New York, which is surprisingly close. Zeldin is a pretty good candidate, but it's New York, folks. I don't trust it. Do you trust it? No, I don't. I'm going to give this to Democrat. Yeah, but Zeldin's giving her a run for her money, and I like it. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next state, the state of Georgia. Kemp is ahead. Kemp is going to win, but it's going to be closer than that. It'll be a 3 to 5 point lead, maybe a 4-point lead for Kemp. I don't see Kemp winning by 14, maybe by 8. I doubt it. When you look at what happened last time, Kemp won by 1.4%. He'll probably win by about 4 or 5 points, maybe. That's all I can say. So I'll give it to Kemp, even though there's a lot of voting. There's a lot of voting in Georgia, so I think there's a lot of ticket splitting going on, though. I'm going to give it to Kemp. Abrams is, I don't know, man, 62%. I don't know, man. That could go Abrams, too. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to trust the polls and leave it to Kemp. I'm going to move on here. And the state of Texas. Okay, so I already said if Trump won the state, he won. So I'm giving it to Abbott. Now this, I think Abbott plus 5 more than Abbott plus 9. Beto was just, man, he's going all over the place, you know, and I don't know if I think that if it's going to be that much of a blowout. I think it's going to be a plus 5 for Abbott. But yeah, I'm still going to pick Abbott. I'm moving on here. New Mexico. This is actually going to be closer than you think. I really want to give this to Rinchetti. I really do. I think that I think he has a shot to win this. I really, really, truly do. Let me take a look at the last pollings on this one. See, for president, okay, they didn't have an, okay, so yeah, Biden won, but not by as much as the polls indicated. I wonder if there's a miss here. Should I go with the upset? I wonder if I should go with the upset. You know, so I got to pick an upset, right? The weatherman, you can't beat him down. Come on. Let's see what happened last time. Oh, she won by 14.3% points. Well, it's in the blue wave, though. He was going against this old white guy. It's not good. Oh, wow, look at that. She's up by 8 and won by 14.2. I'm going to go ahead and just give it to her. I love to give it to the weatherman. I think that he has a shot at it. I just don't see it, honestly. So, and Maine's going to go Democrat. There you go, 29-21 in favor of the Republicans. Let's make this solid red. I think that's going to go Republicans. So this is it right here. This is my prediction of the governorships. Not really sure. Everything was pretty easy for me except for Nevada. Nevada was the toughest one to pick. Nevada and Arizona, who knows, you know. Georgia was easier than the Senate. The Senate was tough. And now the Senate I'm a little worried about because, as I said, my prediction for Nevada, I had it red, but I didn't realize Laxalt underperformed the polling big time. And now I'm a little worried about that. But you know what? We have a lot of bad things going on, inflation and gas prices. They closed down Vegas. I'm hoping that it can change and switch. Looking at the Target Smart data for Nevada. Yeah, it's a little bit, it's more than 50%. One of the things you want to look at when you're kind of making a prediction here is looking at the Target Smart data. Look at Ohio. Look at how much less voting there is. You know, that's what you want to look at, because the more voting, what happens is when you have more votes that come in, it's because of the mass media getting idiots out there to vote. I hate to say it that way, but that's the truth. Like Wisconsin is a lot less. So to me, that looks pretty good, solid for Republicans. That's what that tells me. You know, it's all you look at is that. That's pretty good for Republicans. And when you look at Washington, it's less than 50% too. It's not bad, but there's still more Democrats voting, so that's going to go Democrats. So, you know, Virginia, I don't know what's going on. I guess there's some races going on. A lot more Democrat, though, than before. In Utah, when you look at Utah, more Republican. You see that? So, but that's good, and it's less than 50%. But you know, Utah's a red state. Texas, this is interesting. I have not voted yet. I'll vote on election day, but I did do early voting in 2020. The Democrats are ahead here. You see that? How Democrats are like really close now? That's interesting. But you just gotta trust the polls. This is why I think it's gonna be a lot more closer, you know, than 9 points. I think it's gonna be closer than that, actually. And Pennsylvania, what we know about Pennsylvania. So I went for Oz because it was less than 50% difference, but that's tough. Anyways, like and subscribe to my channel. Any contents or comments would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.